Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be having multiple romantic options. I've got a great email here from a viewer, and he's got like 5 different women in his life. And so he goes through kind of what life is like and what he's experiencing, and he went through a really shitty, bad breakup where his wife basically took off and took the family and everything. And you can imagine, that's a pretty fucking traumatic event. Your wife leaves and takes your kids, and you can't even see your kids or your family. And so he recovered from that, and on top of that, he's got all these options with women. And his email and what he does is textbook, especially if you're one of those people that found my work after a bad breakup, or you're trying to get an ex back and you're still licking your wounds. This is a perfect email for you. And for those of you that are just trying to improve your skills with members of the opposite sex, you're trying to get other options. When you live your life and your lifestyle like this, you learn fast, you improve your skills fast, you get lots of options and lots of choices. And if you have lots of options and lots of choices, you're not going to settle for just any old person that comes along. You're going to want the best. Why? Because everybody watching this deserves the absolute fucking best. I'm a peak performance coach. I'm not teaching mediocrity or settling. That's not what I'm about. Because you'll never be happy with just something average. You won't be happy and totally 100% filled with just an average job or an average career or an average business or average friends or average lovers or an average lifestyle. And it doesn't mean you got to live in a $100 million mansion, but you got to live a life and a lifestyle that you feel happy and content with. Because maybe what I like and what I love, I like living in the city and I like living on a lake. And there's other people that they want to live in the country where nobody's around. And there's other people like to live in like a busy city like New York or on the beach or in a ski resort. I mean, different strokes for different folks. The bottom line is I want you to have a life and a lifestyle and the kind of people in your life that you want there, the kind of people you've always dreamed about. And you can get there by doing the things that I talk about in my book. And so I've got a quote that I wrote in this topic, and then we're going to go through this guy's email. And the quote says, having multiple romantic options while you are dating is the best way to build your confidence, cultivate an abundance mentality, overcome feelings of neediness and desperation, and perfect your dating and seduction skills so you can attract the perfect long-term partner for you. When you have few romantic options and meet someone you really like when you still do not have emotional self-control, you will most likely chase them right out of your life and talk them out of liking you. Most women have many romantic options, and this helps them get over breakups way faster than the average male does. Plus, women are never really out of the dating game. Why? They are constantly being hit on when they are single, dating, in a relationship, or married. Women who were previously off the market simply can start saying yes to dates instead of rejecting men when they become single again. We all deserve to have the best that we can get. When we have lots of choices, we won't settle for someone that is less than what we really deserve because we don't have to. So let's jump right into his email. He says, "Hey Corey, after making a $50 donation a couple of months ago," well, I always appreciate donations, and for those of you who appreciate my work and you want to show your appreciation by making a donation, on my website, there on the toolbar at the bottom of every page on the website on the left-hand side, there is a PayPal donate button. You can donate there, and also on the right-hand column of my website, if you want to do like a recurring monthly subscription donation, whatever you feel is of value to you. He says, "I wrote you about the current state of my relationships, which were pretty fucked up at the time. My wife had lied and left me for Asia, abducting my children." Oh, that's fucking brutal, dude. It's like having your fucking heart ripped out and then lit on fire in front of you. "In the aftermath of filing for divorce and pursuing means of recovering my family, although I was actively dating, I was still somewhat of a nervous wreck and not yet able to hold things together as a man with the women I was seeing. Well, practice is the mother of skill. A few weeks back, I had 5 dates in 1 week. It was exhausting, he puts in exclamation points. He says, however, out of those options, I narrowed my focus to 2 women with very high attraction level for me. I'm 40, one is 36, she's Italian and Polish with long hair, straight, brunette, and the other is a busty Nordic blonde who's 39. Both are tall, long-legged, just like me. The other one is a corporate pharmacist, while the younger one is a respiratory therapist. There's something about women in the medical field that makes them horny. I don't know what it is, but I like it. And my first fuck post-divorce was a nursing home nurse as well. Ah, they like to play doctor. So now I am actively dating both women and having a lot of fun while doing it. They live in separate towns. Well, that's strategically convenient. I find them both charming and funny, and the sex is amazing. Last night, the respiratory therapist was an animal in bed. Even though she wanted to wait a while, I got us to a nice hotel room after dining out. After our movie got out, I just escorted her there with a James Bond-like expectations, and she went for it. When you communicate in that language, all the resistance goes away. Even if she just wants to hook up with you, she's not going to have to worry about you becoming a creepy stalker or trying to get her into a relationship just because you had sex one time. You just act like a guy who knows what he's doing, and it's so fucking rare and so refreshing for women when they come across a guy who acts this way, who knows what to do, who does the things that I teach in my book. It's great for her, and it's great for you. It's a win-win. He says she went out of her way to please me, begging me to come twice. Afterwards, she told me her vagina needed rest and she was going to have trouble walking back to our car, LOL. Walking like a duck, huh? The pharmacist has cute little whimpers and told me I made her come 3 times last Wednesday evening. The second time was especially intense. I invited her over to my place, cooked salmon, and asked her to bring a bottle of wine. He says, textbook Corey Wayne. Yeah, I think I've heard of that somewhere. Hang out, have fun, hook up, invite a woman over for dinner. Good job. Reading your book, I understand it's important to date them both simultaneously and handle things. I'm going to let the women help me by waiting for them to profess their love and demand exclusivity. That's why all a guy really needs to do is hang out, have fun, and hook up. Create a fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen. Reading your book, I also understand that doing so is helping prevent me from developing feelings too early. Well, when you've got multiple options and you like the women that you're dating, you're not, but versus only having one that you really like, and especially if you're learning this, or you're recovering from a bad breakup, you can't help but be kind of in a little bit of a scarcity mindset because you're gonna be thinking, God, I don't want to fuck this up, and that's when you start to become too nice, a little too compliant, a little too willing to drop what you're doing and hang out with her. But just like he said, 5 women in 1 week is fucking exhausting. It really is. Think about it. 5 different, you got 7 days in a week, and 5 of those nights are with 5 different women. Think the logistics of trying to plan that out. In addition to everything else, going to the gym, working, buying groceries, going shopping, cleaning your place, doing all those things that a normal bachelor has to do, unless you've got a housekeeper or something along those lines. It is exhausting to keep track of all that. So if you're going to be going out with 5 different women in 1 week, you want to be going out with women that you really want to hang out with. And if you got 5 of them that you really like, I'm sure you're always going to have one that you're going to like the most, but especially in the early stages, you don't know. You don't know what she's like. Maybe after 2 or 3 weeks, you get to see the real side of her, because most people can mask who they really are for about the first 90 days of a relationship. And when you're learning the stuff that's in my book, by having options and having choices like this guy is doing a brilliant job of doing, you get to really see people for who they are. And therefore, you can make a choice based upon your terms as to who you want to become exclusive with. And if you don't feel like you're in a place to where you want to be exclusive, or any of the women that you're dating are like really knock your socks off to the point where You want to be exclusive? Then you just say, hey, I'm not ready for that, or I'm not looking for that right now. And I'll understand if you want to break things off, because I can't be exclusive with you right now. I'm still recovering from the breakup or the divorce, and I just want to be single for a while. I want to enjoy myself, but I'm just being honest with you and telling you where I'm at and where I'm coming from. And when you do that, you may lose some of the women, but the majority of them are going to stick around. And when you have women that are flexible, that are like, because a woman who's really got a lot of confidence, she'll be like, I don't give a shit about these other women you're dating, because I'm fucking better than all of them, and I'm going to make you mine. And a woman with a lot of confidence, she's going to come from that place, and she's going to be cool with it, because she's going to believe in her mind and in her heart, eventually you're going to choose her over everybody else. That's a great place to be in. You act like somebody who's rich and famous, basically. When you do these things that I talk about in my book, it makes it so easy. He says, I went on date number 2 last night with the respiratory therapist, and I'm going to a festival this afternoon on date number 5 with the pharmacist, and then sleeping at her place. I predict that I'll end up with the pharmacist permanently. She and I are more on the same level intellectually. However, she's still active in online dating. Yeah, she's got lots of choices and lots of options. So I think it's wise to protect my heart and wait it out until dates 10 to 13, like you advise. Keep hanging out, having fun, and hooking up, dude. When she falls in love, she's going to want you all to herself. Besides, a month or 2 down the road, you might decide, you know what? I don't want to be exclusive. There might be another girl that comes along in a week or 2 that you haven't even met yet that'll blow all of them away. That's why you should take your fucking time with this. Don't be in a fucking rush, man. He says either choice or continuing with both would be spectacular long term in my view. Thanks again. This year is going from being the worst year of my life to one of the best. Fucking good for you, dude. That is so awesome. I'm proud of you. That's great. To recover from that, your wife taking off with your kids and leaving and taking them to another country where you don't have access to them anymore, that's fucking brutal. And all these beautiful women that are in his life are helping him with his grief therapy. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.